Your Skin Tells a Story.
Written by A. Lee 30.
Read by Arashi. How many do you have? Felix shrugs, leaning back against his boyfriend. They were sitting on the floor of their hotel room, the moon illuminating the space, making an intimate atmosphere. Ash was sandwiched between the bed and Felix, tracing the lines of one of Felix's more recent tattoos, a menacing red thunderstorm with a crack of lightning down his left forearm. Hell if I know. I stopped counting years ago. Ash hums in response. Since they started dating, Felix constantly caught Ash staring at his body art. Not in a bad way. Ash was just fascinating. Is it going to be a problem? Felix had asked on their first date, fully expecting the night to end right there. What? No, not at all. Ash had stuttered, cheeks flushing at being caught for staring at the thunderstorm peeking out from under his sleeve. I'm sorry. I didn't mean any disrespect. I think it's beautiful. Felix wasn't used to any part of him being called beautiful, and for it to come from someone like Ash, whose eyes shone like gemstones, whose smile truly lit up a room, who was the purest idea of beauty, Felix constantly wonders how he got so lucky. Do they all mean something? Ash asked, bringing Felix's attention back to the present. Most, not all. Ash nods and rests his chin on Felix's shoulder. Most of his ink was on display tonight, the warmth of summer in Deirdre forcing him into a tank top and shorts. Felix is marked almost everywhere, from his shoulders to his ankles. In stark contrast, Ash is unblemished, save for the freckles that dust across his nose and are, presumably, sprinkled all over his body. Felix likes to think of them as constellations, a unique set of tattoos from the goddess herself. How about this one? Ash taps the back of Felix's right hand. Amongst a tangle of lavender-colored heather, thorns and briars, sits a stylized shield with a sword at its center. Does this one mean anything? Felix nods. It's part of my family's coat of arms or something. He responds nonchalantly. I saw it on some old documents in my father's office when I was young. I guess it really made an impression. It was my first one. Did it hurt? Felix shrugs again. Most good things do. That's really cool. Ash marveled, tracing the vine through a thicket of nasturtium flowers, up to Felix's elbow, where the design shifts into rays of the sun. The center of the sun circled his elbow, the natural wrinkles of his skin adding definition and texture to the simple design. How about this one? Felix chuckles. That was a grab bag. At a shop, you pay $100 to get a token, and you put it in one of those gumball machines. Whatever design is in the capsule is your new tat. I'm surprised it turned out so well, in all honesty. You let fate decide your tattoo? Ash teased with a sly smile. See, it sounds ridiculous when you say it like that. Ash laughed. It is kind of ridiculous, especially for you. He pressed his lips to Felix's cheek and lazily followed the rays up Felix's bicep to his shoulder, where the sun's rays blended into a mandala design and disappeared under the strap of his shirt. Felix sits forward as Ash runs his hand between his shoulder blades in a lazy massage. Do you have any on your back? He asked softly. Felix smiled fondly at the question, even though Ash wouldn't see it. They've only been dating a short time, and they have been taking things rather slow. Painfully slow, some might say. Felix doesn't mind, however. He has his own reasons for not pushing Ash to give more than he's ready to give. For Ash to ask for this next step, even indirectly, made Felix's heart skip a beat. A couple, he responds. Can I show you? Ash stops his ministrations, processing the offer. Yeah, he responds hesitantly. Felix can only imagine the flush coloring Ash's cheeks and the shy look in his eyes. Only if you want to, of course. I wouldn't have offered if I didn't, he states. Oh, right. Felix rubs Ash's knee reassuringly and scoots forward, reaching over his shoulders and pulling up on the collar of his shirt. Felix pulls the back of his tank top over his head, leaving his back on display. He hears Ash let out an astonished gasp before he feels nimble fingers begin tracing ink once again. From the tip of a wing on his right shoulder to the center of his back, attached to the shield and sword design, into another wing. Below each wing are 2 sets of initials in flowing script with dates below them. It's the biggest piece Felix has and carries the most weight and meaning. For my brother and my father, Felix offers without preamble. Ash's fingers ghost reverently over the initials. I'm so sorry for your loss. Ash whispered softly against Felix's skin as he placed a soft kiss in the center of the shield. Felix grunts with a shrug. Circle of life and all. Still, a loss like that is hard. I can relate. Ash always finds ways to take Felix by surprise. Felix isn't used to such honesty and openness. Ash idolizes the notion of chivalry, looks for good in everyone, and wears his heart on his sleeve. He's Felix's complete opposite. Where Ash is warm like the summer sun, Felix is cold like forged steel. Where Ash doesn't hesitate to share and try to empathize with others, Felix keeps his feelings close to his heart, unwilling to show a hint of vulnerability. Even so, he finds himself letting down his walls for Ash, letting him in, piece by piece. It's an unfamiliar situation, and yet he finds himself willing to follow Ash's lead. Ash continues tracing lines down Felix's left arm, swooping through angry clouds and following the crack of lightning until finally taking Felix's hand in his and intertwining their fingers. If you ever want to talk about it, I'll be here to listen. You're not alone anymore. Felix squeezes their hands. Thanks. He turns around slightly, gazing into Ash's bright green eyes. You too. You know, I'm not good at this, but I'll be here for you too. I'll work on being better. For you. Ash smiled and leaned in to press their lips together. You already are. Well, that got deep really fast, Ash jokes when they pull away, leaning his forehead against Felix's. We should head to bed. Felix hummed and gave Ash another light kiss. In a bit. He settled back between Ash's legs and leaned against him, shirt forgotten and tossed aside. Let's stay here a little longer. Ash accepted Felix's weight against him and wound his arms around Felix's waist. As long as you'd like.